recently you were on The Great Cricketer doing a bit of interview and you spoke something about Stoin.
The BitStoin.
He said you're yet to invite any of the English guys to your room for coffee. I mean, yeah.
Shocking. Still haven't got an invite. Still.
I've got two fantastic characters with me. Bring in a lot of personality.
I can't see it. No, you can't. You zoom in.
Yeah, try to zoom in to. I think it will grow.
It will. And I'm going to get it dyed maybe, same colour as yours. Imagine.
So, how is it going right now? Settling in well?
I think it's all going pretty well so far. So far, so good. I mean, obviously it's getting worse over here with the situation, the health situation, that sort of stuff. So I think it's going as good as it can be, and we seem to be going all right as a team, and yeah, it's going all right.
Yeah, it's a great bunch of lads. I mean, we're very lucky with the overseas guys. Most of us know each other pretty well. So it's been great. Settled in a lot easily. But like Stoin said, it's a bit weird because obviously we're locked in and we're just in the hotel or the ground. We can't really kind of gauge the situation outside. So yeah, just hoping everyone's okay and staying safe outside really.
True. It's quite difficult out there for people. I genuinely feel privileged to be here, as safe as anyone else could be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a balance where we're sort of living this life of playing cricket, running around the hotel as if nothing's going on, but we're well aware that it's yeah, especially here in India, it's getting quite tough. So yeah, hopefully things get under control, I guess. Yeah.
Hopefully the IPL puts a smile on people's faces as well. It gives people a little bit of respite in the day to watch a bit of cricket. Anyway.
It is actually a lot of people, like, you know, my family back home, no matter how the day is, you know, when it's 7:30 p.m. they'll turn on their television and just have a good time for those 3-4 hours. It at least refreshes you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, happy that you guys are putting up quite a show for everyone.
Well, I'm not. I'm keeping the lads nice and hydrated. That's something I take a lot of pride in. So, no, the boys have been on fire, haven't they? So, started really well.
So I was going to start with telling Stoin that welcome back again to DC this year. But I can say the same for you, right? It's just been
long time. Yeah, 5 years, I think. Yeah. And obviously a change of name. Quite a lot of change since I was last at the Delhi Daredevils, as it was known. So yeah, it is a positive change as well. It's been a great environment to come into, and it's an honour to come back to Delhi.
Recently you were on The Great Cricketer doing a bit of interview and you spoke something about Stoin.
The BitStoin.
He said you're yet to invite any of the English guys to your room for coffee. I mean, yeah.
Shocking. Still haven't got an invite. Still.
You know what they leave out? They leave out that their boy Tommy Curran makes a beautiful coffee, so they just go there. They don't want to come to my room. So like they're trying to paint me in the bad guy, but I understand. Someone has to be the bad guy in everyone's story, and look,
it's nice
I'm willing to be that.
Nice
I'm willing to be that bad guy.
It's nice to have options, isn't it?
Wait a minute. Like, did you get invited for their coffee yet?
Once, yeah. Once, maybe twice. Yeah.
Exactly. He's a dog, mate. He's a dog.
Okay, so you haven't tried the coffee, so I can't ask you which coffee is better. Like Smudge the other day spoke about your coffee. It's more like dark coffee.
Yes.
The big man likes to be.
It's nice, eh?
Yeah.
I like black coffee.
Just
haven't got the
Do
invite. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
No, the question was actually like, are you just trying to bring in the Australia-English rivalry over here also by not inviting them?
No. I think you're trying to create a bit of rivalry here. No, the BitStoin just chills, just does his own thing.
He likes his own. Yeah.
I woke up about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's what time is it? It's 3.
45.
Yeah, so I just woke up.
Yeah. I woke up an hour ago. Yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, what all you have been doing? Like, I know you're into gaming, so you spend a lot of time playing the games.
Yeah, I think.
Apparently, he's only got one controller as well. You can't play
Maybe he has in his
player.
bag actually.
I actually broke it. I had a bit of rage.
Did you actually?
I broke the second one, yeah.
But we have some extra controllers if you would want.
Xbox.
I haven't been
No.
invited.
PlayStation.
I haven't been
Xbox,
invited.
yeah, exactly. Only one controller, unfortunately.
Let's see. We'll try to.
Well,
get
one thing, on a serious note, we've been in a bubble for a long time. You got the headset on, and it's actually a good way of chatting to some of the other guys who are playing in the other franchises. It's actually quite sociable. You keep in contact with people as well. So it's something just to take your mind away from everything else that's going on.
Right.
So yeah, a game quite a bit. I try not to do it too much, otherwise it can be a pretty negative thing to do. But yeah, I've been doing bicep curls on Stoinis program. But to be honest, it's just training, gym, gaming, and just chilling out and having coffee. That's pretty much our day to day, really. Unless you do anything else.
No, that's actually about it. Yeah.
Maybe you're spending a little bit more time in the gym. Like a lot of people don't
What are you
know
trying
how
to
much.
say, mate? You know?
And you spend a lot of time with your intense workout sessions.
Yeah, I do. I think it helps me, especially on these sort of tours and during lockdown and that sort of thing, to have some routine. That's important for me, and I get on really well with Rajni. So yeah, we do some good stuff. He's very good at what he does, and he's been doing it for a long time. So
He's been lifting quite heavy, if you would have noticed. Yeah, seriously.
he's got a bad shoulder, so he can't lift at the moment.
exactly. Yeah, that's why. Otherwise, I'd be as big as him. Yeah.
Okay, let's come down to one thing which kind of binds us all together, because that thing inspires us all. That is Ricky's post-match speeches, right? You spoke about the conversation you had with TC and Boxy about just kind of, you guys warm up with his speeches, right? It just pumps you up. The same happens with me, right? We, the social media team with zero cricketing skills, we feel like we can go out there and win it for DC. And that's the kind of inspiration that man instills in all of us. So what do you feel about that, Stan?
Yeah, he's the best. I mean, I usually try not to talk him up too much because everyone tells him how great he is and that sort of thing. So I try to bring him back down to earth. Sometimes he needs to be humbled. But no, he's
Hot kettle. Sorry, it was too easy.
He's easily the best coach that I've ever had. I mean, it's hard not to speak well of Ricky Ponting. He's just chooses his words so carefully when he's speaking to the team and addressing the team. His eye for either tactical or technical advice at practice and during the game is second to none. I mean, he's helped us a lot even at training nearly every single time. The way he motivates you going into games, the way he speaks to you at the game, it's all different and it's all very specific. And I used to think, I'm not sure if he's doing that on purpose or if he knows he's doing it, but the more I've gotten to know him, the more you realise that everything is well thought out, and Ricky Ponting I'm going to actually cop it for this because my mates give me shit for talking him up so much, but he's as good as it gets. He's a lovely person.
Wow. And how has your experience been?
Yeah, I actually spoke to Stoin beforehand and asked him what he's like and whatever. And growing up, we all wanted to be Ricky Ponting. Even for an Englishman to say that's quite a big thing to say. But I think Stoin's hit the nail on the head in terms of how he speaks to you. There's a certain kind of intensity, but also a real clarity, whatever he says to you. I've been working on a few things technically, and he picked that up within kind of 5 minutes of watching me bat in the first net. So his eye for kind of a technical thing when it comes to batting is phenomenal, and I've really enjoyed so far just chatting to him, and also away from cricket as well, just getting to know him. Like he seems like a top bloke, and again, yeah, just as good as it gets really. I've had I think for me, Stephen Fleming was the best coach I've played under, and Ricky's definitely in that bracket. He's certainly, those two are in their kind of own echelon, I suppose.
Absolutely, what a legend. There's another common thing between two of you, you guys come across like, let's say, not just the funny guy tag, but there's a lot more to your personalities. There's the serious side, the intense side. You guys take your cricket very seriously, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're probably quite similar people. We've known each other for a long time, since we were 21, and
Long time.
yeah. So I don't think you can get to this stage in cricket or in your career. We've been playing for probably 10 years each, and you're in the IPL and you're doing this sort of stuff, without obviously being super competitive and super serious about what you do and critical of yourself. So we've got that side of that fun side, I guess, and that side where we sort of take the piss out of each other and out of other people and have a laugh. But I think if you spend time in our heads, 90% of that time would be quite serious and quite reflective, I guess. Yeah,
Just trying to get better.
but that's not always a side that you see either out on the field or to a camera or that sort of stuff.
So it's pretty easy for people to form that perception about you, right? That's why I'm bringing this up, that okay, he's always seen smiling, always seen laughing, but there's so much which goes behind that face, you know. There's also a sharp cricketing brain, which from my perspective with limited knowledge, I see in him. Like every time when the coaches walk out during our batting, he is one guy padded up with his helmet on his head, he's also walking, or with the cap turned up backwards, you know. So what sort of chats do you have? What's the intention behind walking in all the time?
Yeah, part of that is just I want to get out on the ground and feel the atmosphere a little bit and get an understanding of what's going on, get an understanding of what the batters think is happening out in the game and what they want to do and how they want to play, so that when I get my chance to come out and join one of them, it's clearer as to what role I'm going to play in either supporting them or how I'm going to take pressure off them or what the coach is saying, what the coach wants. So I try to get as much of my thinking done before I actually get out to the middle, so that once I'm out there, it's really just a singular focus of exactly what I want to do. Yeah, that's the main reason for this sort of step.
So Sam, you are one of the fan favorites, and so is Stoin. You know, you have been with us for a couple of years. How does it feel to come into another country and get so much love from the fans, right?
Yeah, it's amazing, of course, in a cricket-loving country. I think, like anything, and this is something we both kind of have in common in terms of our outlook of things, whatever environment we go into, we want to give as much as we can to the environment, whether you're playing or not. And that goes for the fans as well, because the fans are such a huge part of any franchise, any competition. So in India being probably the biggest competition in the world, and the biggest cricket loving nation in the world as well, it does mean a lot. But again, it's just trying to put smiles on people's faces, and especially now at what's a pretty testing time, it's great to try and do that, and that's all we're trying to do basically, whether it's on the cricket field or off the cricket field as well.
Nice. How about you, Stoin? I mean,
yeah,
you're absolutely loved by our fans, right?
It's very similar. I mean, I guess even the other night after the game, a few of us were speaking about the first IPL that we watched, and for me, first IPL I watched was the first game, and it was McCullum making 100 in the gold helmet, all that sort of stuff. And all I'm trying to say there is that we all remember what it's like to be a fan, and we all remember. It's quite humbling when you think that was, I don't know, maybe 11 years ago, 12 years, like
13
yeah,
now.
IPL 13, yeah.
13 now. Time has just flown away.
And to think, so I would have been 18, 17, 18, and you're watching that and you're thinking, geez, I'd love to play one game in the IPL, let alone. Now we've been here for quite a few years, so you know how much it means to the fans and to the cricket community, but also it's humbling to know that you're part of a competition that you loved when you were growing up. So, I mean, like Sam said, you're just trying to do the best you can and represent the team and the franchise and the cricket community as best as you can, because you know it's such a privilege to be here.
Absolutely, and when you say about putting smiles to faces, you know, there's one picture of you which is stuck in my head. It's from the Pune stadium when you were playing for CSK, and you were flying a drone and you were showing it to one of the groundsmen, if I remember. So that's one side of you. You know, you just put smile on people's faces, no matter who that person is, not just your teammates, but like all of us guys around. You keep everyone in those happy spirits. So that's one special thing about you.
Both.
Absolutely, smile is infectious. Like we keep talking about it.
I had a really good chat with Shika last night. Actually, just sat on the outfield, and I mean, he's a really interesting. I don't know him that well, but getting to know him over the last couple of weeks has been a pleasure. And his mindset in terms of an environment and how you can affect people positively and negatively, and the energy you give off is something that's very important to him. And it kind of really resonated with me, is that I haven't played yet, but actually my whole outlook is to try and give as much as I can to this team, to make the team better. And you're part of the team, the net bowlers are part of the team, everyone feeds into the team's success, whether it's a big part or a small part. So that's really important for me, is that I might not play a game, but actually I'm going to play a part in us winning the championship. So yeah, I just try and keep that mindset, whether it's playing for England or the Delhi Capitals or wherever I go. So yeah, like you said, you want to try and leave a positive effect on people, because when cricket's gone, actually the cricket's not the important part. It's the friendships and everything else that you get from, and the experiences you get from being in an environment like this. That's the important stuff, and that's the things that you'll really cherish after cricket.
Absolutely, and I mean, both of us would be able to vouch for it. The kind of energy you bring in is like unparalleled.
Well, it's only because this clown rubs off on me.
No, but seriously, it's
That's sweet.
cricket's a humbling game, because so this guy talks about, oh yeah, I'm gonna give. I might not play a game, but I'm gonna give as much as I can. But then when he goes home, he's captain of his county. You know, this is so you go from both ends of the spectrum, so you can identify with the leaders, but then also with, when he goes back to Kent, with the young kid that isn't playing, and he knows what it feels like. Like that's the thing about cricket. It's a seriously like
Goes like
humbling
that.
game. Yeah, you're never on top all the time.
And I think with that, and I don't want to big this bloke up too much, but he doesn't need it. But you go back to your previous question about the intensity and the kind of the stuff that people don't see away from the positive smiling faces or whatever is, I think, as Stoin said, the kind of curiosity element when it comes to cricket and trying to get better, he encapsulates that as much as anyone. And actually, because of him, I invested my own kind of time and energy and money into the psychological side of the game, and that was probably what 6 years ago now, 5 years ago. But in terms of looking into things of how you get better, that curiosity you have to have, and I think we're very lucky with the group we've got here, especially the overseas guys who I know a lot better, but we've got a lot of like-minded people like that who want to get better and look at different ways of getting better, not just the age-old kind of old textbook and the old school ways. It's a game, especially even more so now in a bubble. You've got to look after your head more than anything. Actually, that's the most important thing, to perform consistently, but also to try and, I suppose, navigate through bubbles of 3-4 months at a time. It's really important to do that. So that's something I'm grateful for Stoin to kind of, he gave that information and yeah, I suppose rubbed off on me a little bit with that.
And I was going to come to that. I think people talk a lot about you being mentally strong to play good cricket. I think it can't be truer than now, because now is the most difficult time we are in. Some of the boys are in bubble since last August when we travelled for the IPL, and they're still in the bubble. It's going to be almost a year now. So how do you guys cope up with it? Because it may look like you're still living a good life in 5-star hotels, but it's not easy, right?
Yeah, it's not easy. I guess we were pretty lucky by what Sam touched on, sort of thing, by investing a little bit and looking into that sort of side of the game, the mental side of the game, and also just mental well-being. A long time ago, when and it's not because of any issue or anything like that, just because of trying to maximise, like you try to maximise your body or your batting technique or your bowling technique and that sort of stuff. Just trying to maximise on the assets that you've got, I guess. And so that stuff's held us, touch wood, in good stead to navigate through. Nothing's perfect for sure, so you got to navigate through the problems that you have day to day or month to month and being away from home. And so I guess routine is massive for me. Routine and structure, communication, which I'm not great at, but communication and staying in touch with people at home and that sort of thing. The relationships you have, even the fact of, we've touched on just the fact of you have to always be looking to get better, and even in times when you might not be playing or things might not be going your way, the fact of some sort of growth in your own performance and your own stage of life is so important, because as soon as you feel like you're stagnant or you're not moving forward or you're not you can't see a way that you're going to improve in anything, I think that becomes a really tough stage, especially when you know you're away from home for a long time and you start questioning a few things. So yeah, they're all things that, but the thing with cricket is we've been travelling for a long time, so they're all things we've had to sort of establish in our habits for a good 5, 6, 7 years now.
Right, and that's where the friendships kick in, the relationships we form over here, the kind of family we have away from home, that really helps get through this, right?
100%. Yeah, with what Stoin said then as well, like routine and structure for me is huge. I need that, otherwise I kind of drift through things. And it's interesting, I'm useless at keeping in touch with people at home as well. So it definitely resonated with me. That is that's something consistently that I need to be better at, and I am getting there. But yeah, if you don't have those relationships or I suppose that constant communication with home, that it is good to chat to people here, and just even like the other day we just had a coffee, I think 4 or 5 of us, and sat in TC's room and just chilling, just chatting.
Right.
But that's the kind of stuff actually that on a day-to-day, whether it's in Australia or even here, you'd go for a coffee normally and you'd have a walk, and it's just, they're the kind of things that to try and bring some normality into the bubble, which is really nice. So yeah, it's good to have, like we've said a few times, we're very lucky to have a really good overseas group that knows each other pretty well and played a lot against each other. So yeah, that definitely helps.